Have you ever found yourself searching for the perfect word to sound more intelligent, precise, or simply more fluent in English, but ending up with the same old vocabulary? What if I told you that your choice of words could be the key that unlocks not just fluency, but sophistication and confidence in every conversation you have? Today, we are diving deep into the world of advanced English vocabulary, real words that not only impress, but also express. Welcome to our channel, English Improvement Hub. I'm your host, and today we are tackling one of the most critical and often misunderstood parts of mastering English at an advanced level: vocabulary. But this isn't about memorizing a thesaurus or randomly inserting big words into simple sentences. We're going to explore vocabulary that is relevant, effective, and elegant. Words that elevate your expression without sounding artificial or forced. So whether you're preparing for a presentation, writing an essay, or simply aiming to sound more articulate in daily conversations, this episode is for you. At the C1 level, vocabulary acquisition should be purposeful and strategic. It's no longer about knowing hundreds of words, but about knowing the right words and how to use them. This episode will guide you through the nuances of usage, tone, and context, empowering you to use language more intentionally. Why advanced vocabulary matters. Language is not just a medium for communication, it is the fabric of thought. The broader your vocabulary, the more precise your thinking becomes. Consider this: a person with a limited vocabulary is like a painter with only primary colors. Yes, they can paint, but the depth and subtlety are missing. Advanced vocabulary allows you to express subtle shades of meaning. Instead of using angry, you could use irritated, infuriated, or exasperated, each conveying a different intensity. Engage in more complex conversations. With advanced vocabulary, you can participate in intellectual discussions, debates, or even negotiations more effectively. Showcase professionalism and competence. In both written and spoken communication, a refined vocabulary elevates your image, especially in the workplace. Avoid redundancy. It helps eliminate repetitive expressions and diversifies your language, making your speech or writing more engaging. Now imagine the difference between saying, "That's very important," and "That's absolutely essential." The latter is more assertive, confident, and engaging. This is the power of choosing the right word. Common mistakes advanced learners make. Let's now look at 4 common pitfalls learners face when using advanced vocabulary. 1. Memorizing in isolation. Vocabulary without context is like seeds without soil. They won't grow. Learning a new word by itself doesn't help unless you see how it works in a sentence. For example, knowing that meticulous means very careful and precise isn't enough unless you practice sentences like, "She's a meticulous planner who checks every detail twice." 2. Overusing fancy words. Using big words in every sentence makes your speech sound unnatural and forced. Native speakers often mix simple and advanced words. For example, instead of saying, "He exhibited benevolence consistently," it's more natural to say, "He was always kind and generous." Use advanced words where they fit, not to impress. 3. Misusing synonyms. Not all synonyms are equal. Annoyed and outraged both relate to being upset, but they differ in intensity. Saying, "I was outraged that the coffee was cold," sounds too dramatic. Understanding nuance is key. 4. Ignoring register and tone. Some words sound too formal or academic for casual conversation. For instance, commence is a formal word for begin, but using it casually, let's commence dinner, may sound pretentious. Know your audience and setting. Practical ways to learn and retain advanced vocabulary. To master advanced vocabulary, you need more than a list. You need a method. Here are strategies that actually work. Read with purpose. Choose high-quality materials, literature, newspapers like The Guardian or New York Times, essays, or TED Talks. Highlight words that catch your attention and look them up. Use the word in context immediately. When you learn a new word, write 3 to 5 sentences using it. Even better, include it in a conversation or journal entry the same day. Use spaced repetition systems, SRS. Apps like Anki or Quizlet are effective. They test your recall over increasing intervals to help store vocabulary in long-term memory. Group words by theme or tone. Learning synonyms in context helps. For example, group thrilled, elated, overjoyed, and ecstatic under emotions. Understand how they differ subtly. Practice output, not just input. Speaking and writing are where vocabulary truly gets tested. Use new words in voice recordings or while writing emails, essays, or social media posts. Remember, the brain retains what it uses. If you don't use a word, you lose it. Vocabulary in real-life scenarios. To internalize vocabulary, practice it in realistic situations. Let's go through some scenes. Scenario 1. At work. Instead of saying, "The report was very good," try, "The report was exceptionally insightful and well-structured." Scenario 2. Talking about emotions. Instead of, "I was very happy," say, "I was absolutely elated when I got the job offer." Scenario 3. Disagreeing politely. Rather than saying, "I don't agree," use, "I'm not entirely convinced by that argument, but I see your point." Scenario 4. Describing people. Swap. He is smart, for, he's remarkably astute, especially in high-pressure situations. These aren't just fancy words. They're accurate, rich expressions that enhance your communication. Deep dive vocabulary list. Let's now explore some curated advanced words, their meanings, and how to use them. Meticulous, extremely careful and precise. She was meticulous in her research, cross-checking every fact. Conundrum, a confusing or difficult problem. Deciding between the 2 job offers was a real conundrum. Resilient, able to recover quickly from adversity. Children are incredibly resilient after setbacks. Articulate, able to express ideas clearly. He's an articulate speaker who explains complex ideas simply. Pragmatic, dealing with things sensibly and realistically. We need a pragmatic approach to solving this issue. Ambiguous, having more than one possible meaning. The politician's statement was ambiguous and caused confusion. Scrutinize, examine closely and critically. We must scrutinize the contract before signing. Each of these words has shades of emotion, tone, or specificity. Understanding these dimensions lets you use them naturally. Final tips for sounding natural. While using advanced vocabulary, here are final strategies to make sure your use of advanced words feels authentic. Balance is key. Mix simple and complex words. Don't overload your speech with technical terms unless required. Know the tone. Formality varies across contexts. Use resilient in both work and casual talks, but save scrutinize for formal use. Listen and mimic. Watch interviews, debates, or podcasts by fluent speakers. Note their word choice and practice using it yourself. Be patient and curious. Advanced vocabulary is a long-term goal. Don't rush it. Let learning be joyful and discovery-based. Your goal is not to sound like a dictionary, but to be clear, expressive, and impactful. You want your words to mirror your thoughts. Stay tuned for the next segment, where we'll do a live vocabulary challenge and sentence-building practice. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing.